Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody's doing well, man. It's been a few days, I know, but we're back in the sack. We chilling. We're back on schedule. Now, I know you guys been seeing the different content here and there. We're really starting a new era. We're gonna start pushing out content more often. I'm hoping. Oh shit. But anyways, people, get everything y'all need. I was drinking last night, so if I'm a little lower than usual, you guys already understand why. Get the ganja. I got a little shum right here. Get anything you guys need, the juice, the water. We gonna tap into this Darrell Brooks cross-examination. Now go back to the other Darrell Brooks video that I did. You'll see that he was, there was a police officer being examined by the state. Now Darrell Brooks is gonna come and cross-examine, and it's a shit show. It's like 30 minutes of a complete disaster. So we're going to go ahead, check this shit out. Everybody, you already know, go follow the Patreon, go follow the Instagram, bell notifications, do all that shit y'all got to do. I love you guys. Let's get straight into this thing.
Would you happen to be on duty today, right now, if you weren't testifying?
Yes. One thing this fool likes to do is ask everybody who's being paid, like, hey, so are you being paid to be here? So, like, for example, like he's trying to say like the state's bribing them to testify or some shit. Like, bro, the dude has to work and he's not working. So what do you think happens? They're going to pay him for it.
And so right now, would it be fair to say that you are on the clock?
Pretty fair.
Yes.
So on the clock, would it be fair to say that you're getting paid right now?
Yes.
Would that be for your testimony or just because you would be on the clock otherwise?
See, he's tried to poison, what is it called? The fruit from a poisonous tree. He's trying to poison the whole basket. He's like, so are you getting paid to testify, or is it just because, you're supposed to be working right now? Bro, if you don't get that bullshit up out of here.
These would be my normal work hours right now.
So you're being paid to testify right now as we speak.
Objection.
Grounds.
Ask to answer.
Grounds.
He may answer.
Yes.
Any idea why you would be getting paid to testify?
Because these are my normal work hours. This is when I'm working and I'm been subpoenaed by the state to be here.
Like they said, asked and answered. He literally said that question word for word. I feel like I had deja vu. I was like, did I rewind the video just now? Like, your bro is going to give you the same if you ask him again, guess what? He's going to give you the same answer a third time.
So the state's paying you to testify?
The city of Franklin is paying me.
To testify?
These are my normal work hours.
So testifying in open court is part of your duties as an officer?
Probably.
Yes.
Exactly. Stupid. Of course that's a duty of an officer. You mean to tell me you have a whole shootout with somebody, right? That he was robbing the bank. And you go out, you shoot it out with him. And, he's like, I ain't going back. And you shoot it out. And you kill that man. But then his co-defendant survives, right? And then his co-defendant goes to trial. And he's about... it's the biggest trial of the century, right? You know what I mean? You mean to tell me the officer's just not going to come and testify? Nah, because they don't pay me for that. They don't pay me to testify after I shot up this man and had this whole incident. Bro, they have a whole section of pay for officers to go to court. They always go to court.
So you've done this more than just this time, then? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And each time you were paid to do so?
No shit.
Yes.
You made mention to the state of Wisconsin. Is that who you were subpoenaed by?
Yes.
Do you recall by whom?
No.
You were in fact subpoenaed, though. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And you don't recall by whom the subpoena was delivered to you? The name on the subpoena?
No.
What position were you in when you observed what you said as the driver hanging out of the window and you being concerned that possibly they would fall out? And where were you positioned at that time?
I would
You
have.
know, that's a crazy story to hear that he was hanging out the window. Like, I thought he was just driving through the parade, like, you know what I mean? I thought he was just driving through the parade in his car, you know, just driving through people. But if he's actually hanging out the window, that just adds a whole other element of crazy.
I've been standing on the south side of Main Street, just west of Maple, by a few feet.
Do you know of any reason why the exhibits are not depicting what you say you saw?
That portion of the video only covers from a distance where I was. It would have been the very tail end of that. When it's going to the west, that video is probably from several hundred feet to the east of where I am. So
Several hundred feet? How would you estimate that distance?
just I know where that video is taken from and where I was standing. That's an estimate of about how far.
I think they're going to show the picture, but if you remember, it was a full crowd of people. And when prosecution was asking the questions, they're like, where were you? He was like, I was way at the back. And the prosecution also said, can you see yourself there? He was like, no, it would be too far. So Darrell Brooks is really, what Brooks does, his strategy is he'll piggyback off of what prosecution has because he doesn't have any real game plan. So what he's going to do is he's going to see what prosecution does and he's going to try to mirror it. And at the same time, he's going to hurt himself thinking that he's trying to reverse things, right? But he doesn't understand everything that prosecution covers is damaging to him. You know what I mean? So he's following the same blueprint. He's showing the same exhibit that prosecution gave. He's asking the same question, but with a little edit to try to rebut that thing, right? But that's where he's going wrong. He needs to have his own game plan, his own reasoning for doing things, his own, if he had an alibi or a reason that, you know, a twin Darrell Brooks was in his truck, he needed to go a different route. And I think that's where he fucked up. He's mirroring the prosecution way too much. All he does is see what they do, and he'll do the same thing. He'll ask the same questions and be like, but he'll ask the same question and be like, but that's bullshit, right? You guys can see how that could be bullshit, right, guys? Right, guys? That doesn't make sense, right? And then he'll move on. Stupid. He doesn't have his own game plan. All he does is copy. After all these videos, that's what I'm realizing about this guy.
And you know that for sure?
It's an estimate.
So it would be fair to say you don't know for sure.
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustain.
No, he could ask that. I don't know for sure.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Argumentative. Sustained as to the form of the question. Please rephrase
Would
it.
it be fair to say that in the exhibit that was just shown, that from the position that you said that you would have been positioned at, would it be fair to say that the vehicle passed that position pretty quickly?
Yes.
So how were you able to get a look at the driver if it passed your position quickly and we can see lots of people standing in that position?
When the vehicle passed by me, the vehicle at that point in time was a threat to me and my family. So I was very focused on what was going on. Very focused. And it passed directly in front of me, about 10 feet away. So all my attention was directly on that vehicle. That's how I noticed that.
That's a good fucking cop right there. Hell yeah, brother. Because I'll tell you something. Hell yeah, brother. Go check out Cletus McFarland, guys. He's a massive YouTuber. If you guys like cars and you don't watch Cletus McFarland, I don't know what y'all doing with your lives. Go check out that channel. Anyways, he don't need the help. Go follow my Patreon. He don't need no help. That man's a millionaire. Anyway, shit. What was I gonna say? No, I remember. That's a good ass cop because I'll tell you, some cops in the force, they'll probably be in the force for 10 years and they get faced with some bullshit and they freeze or they panic or they just all that shit. You just see a man crumble. And it's like, you understand who you are when you get put in positions like that. So no hate to him. I'm just saying it happens. But this guy, you could tell he's about that life. He wants all the smoke. He was like, he had his eyes glued on that car, all his attention on that shit, because he wanted to get that guy. I like him.
And you saying it passed 10 feet in front of you.
Approximately, yes.
Does this exhibit that was just shown depict what you are saying now? That it passed 10 feet in front of you?
Yes.
So can we pull that back up?
Sure. Yo, Judge Darrell is trolling so hard, guys. I don't think you guys understand how hard she's trolling this man. Her tone of voice, all that shit, it's like she's dealing with her 3-year-old. He's like, hey, can we bring that back up? I have a revelation. I have a damn revelation, Miss Darrell. Sure.
It'll be shown to everyone.
Yes.
And if the jurors would let me know when it's on the screens in the jury box, please. Go ahead. You want it played? They
got it, dumbass.
Do you want it played from a certain
Well,
spot?
I'll get to that. Just so we're clear for the record and for the jury, your position will be somewhere in here as you testified. Would that be fair to say?
Yep, that's what he said.
Correct. But
Can we put that X down?
Hold on, let him finish. You interrupted him.
Okay.
given the angle of this, it's very hard for me to show precisely where I am. It's if I can draw an X, I'm trying to draw it as far.
Use your finger.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Like as far down here as possible. It's not right. It's not like any of these people here. It's actually, because this is still, all this video here is still on the east side of Maple. I am on the west side of Maple. So when I put an X here, I am essentially, I'm going to call it way down there, several hundred feet. I'm not any of these people pictured.
I mean, come on, guys. From this camera, that's at least 500, 600 feet. So from the, like, I mean, come on. That's a fair estimate. That boy is far. And cameras also make things look closer and further than they appear. So, you know, you got to take his, well, this is court. We're not taking his word for it. But, I mean, we have camera footage, so we have an idea.
Does that make sense?
No, it actually doesn't, but
How
I was
is it
referring,
not?
so I probably had it a little coming this way. So by what you're saying, you would have been approximately in this area. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
Object to the annotation. The witness drew twice now where he was, and I think adequately explained it.
Grounds.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I'm going to sustain the objection and direct Mr. Brooks to have the witness put where
Please.
the area that he was in.
Okay.
So we'll clear the annotation.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, at this point, let's just figure out where he was. I'm not hating on Brooks for these questions.
And go ahead, if you could do that, sir.
Nah, but if you look at it before he even crosses anything, look way at the back. I'm going to put my own arrow, right? I'm pointing, but you guys will see it on the arrow. There's a whole heap of people that continues going that we can't even see. It's just a blur. That's all he's trying to say. He's the blur in the background. That's all he's trying to say. They should have never used this. I feel like this is a shitty... Well, no, it's good because the car flies by, but for the position of the officer, it's kind of a bad angle to figure out where he is. But if that's all they had, then it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it would be.
Now, did you mean to put that arrow?
I did not mean to put that arrow there.
Let's clear it again. We'll have you do it. I know it's a touchy screen, so do it again.
Fair.
So you and your family were approximately in the area of where you drew the X. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Would it also be fair to say that there are quite a few people in that area?
Yeah, exactly. It's a heap
Yes.
of them.
Would it be fair to say that you can see, I guess it would be some type of lights from the vehicle that passed? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Estimate that where you can see those lights and where you would have positioned that is 10 feet.
Can you repeat the question?
Would you say that where you can see those lights at, that you just said that you can see, and the position that you drew yourself to be positioned in, you would estimate that that's 10 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll object and move
No,
to strike.
no. That was good. That was
This is a
fine.
misleading question. We're at the beginning of the video. Those taillights are not the vehicle in question.
Where did the tail lights come from then?
A different vehicle.
Oh.
So would it be fair to say that they
Hold on, there's been an
objection.
there's been an objection. I believe the question mischaracterized the evidence. So strike the question, strike his response. Please rephrase. If you want to watch the video again to establish what you're asking, that would be fine.
Before I play, do you recall there being any other vehicles?
This is actually a decent cross-examination. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually enjoying this one because usually it's a dead brain cross-examination, but he's trying to clarify where he was to have the big reveal. But I think the big reveal is gonna let us down. But anyways,
Positioned by where you were standing there with your family?
Hold on, are you talking about at the time that we're seeing this, or
At the time that we're looking at right now, do you recall any other vehicles being present, positioned where you were standing with your family?
I believe there was a vehicle to my left, which would have been immediate to my left was the group that was walking with the Catholic community of Waukesha, and just to the west of them was some sort of vehicle that was participating in the parade.
So it would have been a little bit further west.
Yes.
From your recollection, would you say that was the vehicle that you said would have been positioned a little further west?
Sir, do you mean the vehicle in the photo?
Yes, the vehicle that.
Thank you.
The vehicle in the exhibit. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just want to make sure we all understand.
Okay,
It's possible that's the vehicle.
but you don't know for sure. Can you play a little bit of it? I'll tell you when to pause. Can we bring the X off?
We can, and we will. Go ahead and play.
Pause. Would it be fair to say that it looks like the vehicle that's traveling with direction, would that be west?
Which vehicle are you referring to?
The vehicle that just drove through the middle of the screen.
Yes.
For
Would
the
it be
record,
fair-
hold on. For the record, the video was paused at 4 seconds. Go ahead.
Does the vehicle appear to be in the middle of the street? Would that be fair to say?
At that point, yes.
And would you
I'm sure he's talking about his vehicle. So he's trying. Let's see what
make
goes.
the middle of the street to be 10 feet from where you were positioned at the time?
No, it would be a little further than that.
And with all the people in that general vicinity, would that in any way be hard for you to focus on if you could actually see who was driving the vehicle?
See, I told you the big reveal was going to let us down. All he was trying to say is that you were too far to see who was in the vehicle. But, bro, if I have pretty decent eyesight. I have one bad eye, one eye that's, I think, still 20/20. I'm going to see you. Even if I'm squinting one eye like that, I'm going to be like, yeah, that was him. That was him. Like 10, 20, 30 feet. I'm going to see your features, and I'm going to remember your face. At least up to 30 feet.
No, when I gave the description, the vehicle was right in front of me and there was nobody in my way.
Do you see yourself? Did your position move closer to the vehicle, as we can see that it's in the middle of the street and you just testified to that? Did you move closer to the vehicle or did you move back from the vehicle? What did you do at that point when you noticed that the vehicle was approaching your position?
It happened very quickly. I don't know that I moved in any direction when the vehicle came by.
So to your recollection, you pretty much stayed where you were at.
Yes. it
which
happened very-
also is implying that he was swerving because he was like, yeah, at that time he was in the middle of the street. Again, he's asking these questions thinking he's going to help himself, but then it's just going to point something else out.
very quickly.
So it'd be fair to say that it was. Well, let me back up. What will you define as very quickly? Few seconds?
Yes.
And in a few seconds, you were able to see the driver of the vehicle hanging out of the window and almost falling and doing all that in just a few seconds.
Yes.
And you also made mention to the driver of the vehicle looking behind them. Do you recall saying that?
Yes.
So, in your recollection, you witnessed the driver hanging out of the driver's side window, being concerned that they would possibly fall out of the vehicle, and looking back and continuing to drive in a straight line, all in a few seconds.
Can you repeat that question?
You were able to see, because you testified that everything happening very quickly, and then you defined that as being a few seconds. Would that be fair to say that that's what you just testified to?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I mean, he's trying to fault people on all these technicalities, but guess what? If the testimony makes sense and lines up with camera footage and it lines up with other people and it starts to line up, you can't fault people on small details. Maybe he was 9 feet. Maybe he was 7 feet away. Maybe he was 5 feet away and he thought he was 10. Guess what? He saw you hanging out the window, and I bet you some other people will say the exact same thing. If too many people are saying the same story and you're the only one going against the grain, you're typically the one.
So what I'm asking is, in those few seconds, you were able to see, from your recollection, you were able to see the driver of the vehicle hanging out of the vehicle, you being concerned that the driver would possibly fall from the vehicle. Notice that the driver was looking back and continuing to drive in a straight line. You witnessed all this in a few seconds.
That's the worst formed question. My brain just broke. Like, I can't even keep up with what he's saying the way he phrased that question. Like, bro, figure out how to write a sentence, my dog. Like, shit.
I would not say continue to drive in a straight line. All the rest of that, yes.
You witnessed all that in a few seconds.
Yes.
I told you. What did I tell you? They're going to point something else. They're going to point something else out that damages him. What did I say? When you look back, he probably started swerving. There's like a 5-second rule or something. If you look away from the road or something, like you're bound to like crash or go off the road or something like that. I mean, obviously you're going to start swerving. My damn camera died. Let's go.
From the, well, let me back up. From your recollection, do you recall there being any tints to the vehicle? Like tinted windows or anything?
I don't recall.
Honestly, I think the windows were tinted, but his windows was open, so it didn't make a difference.
Can we pull up Exhibit 9?
Go ahead.
Can we, how do you show it to everybody? Do you say publish?
It's on
I'm sorry.
published, yes.
Dumbass.
It is. Jury will let me know when it's in the jury box, please.
Would it be fair to say from this still shot depiction that there are in fact tinted windows of the vehicle that you identified?
That's what I was just gonna say. Bro, what did I tell you that he just follows prosecution and doesn't learn his lesson? Bro, you're incriminating yourself. This is clearly you. Why are you trying to talk about tinted windows when there's a black man with dreads driving the vehicle? It's not looking good, bro. It's not look. It's really not looking good. Bro, what is going on?
It does appear that the windows in the back are tinted.
So you don't see any tinted windows on the side too?
Yes. When I mean back, I mean driver's door back.
I apologize. I didn't know what you meant by that.
Okay.
Back driver's side window and the immediate window after that as well. Would it be fair to say that from this picture, there are 2 tinted windows that you can visibly see? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
You can take that down.
He's arguing about some tinted windows while his face is in the picture. That is the craziest shit to me. What is that? Guys, what is going on? What is going on? That shit is crazy. That shit is...
In that Exhibit 9 steel frame, it would be also fair to say that the driver is not hanging out of the window at that point?
That is fair to say. That is correct.
To your recollection, do you know who may have took any of those videos, not the still frames, but the videos that were shown?
No.
Were you injured in any way during the incident?
No.
Any of your family?
No.
Yeah, now he's going through the nothing questions. But the main thing that I really take away from this shit is that Brooks actually pulls a picture up of himself and asks a question about tinted windows. Like, I don't know, y'all. You guys let me know in the comments. Is that ballsy or is that stupid or is that just straight up crazy? I don't know. But this man is arguing about tinted windows when his damn truck... when his driver's seat is open. Insanity.
Do you know if anyone filed a claim in this incident?
I don't understand the question.
Filed a claim like seeking to be an injured party.
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Working in law enforcement, have you at any point seen the complaint in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer if he's in.
A complaint regarding this case?
Yes.
No.
Do you know if there's a plaintiff in this case?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Yeah, see?
Plaintiff in the case?
I sustain the objection.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to answer.
All right.
Do you even know if there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Now, if you remember, Darrell Brooks started asking these questions about, like, oh, did somebody file a claim? And he was like, well, no, the foundation of such and such, like, started helping people, and they filed, like, legal suits and shit like that. And he was like, well, so who is even going against me then, on a technicality? So that's what he's trying to do with the police officer. He's like, doesn't there need to be a person that needs to file a criminal complaint to even start this whole process? Like, dude is living in another dimension, bro. Thinking like stuff like this is gonna help him. Bro, it is the city of Waukesha that's charging you, I think.
Same objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Being in law enforcement for as long as you have, are you aware that there has to be an injured party to bring a claim?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
Sustained. Also misstates the law.
Mad.
In any of your investigations during your career, were you ever made aware at any time that the state of Wisconsin can be a plaintiff in a matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Sustained.
Yeah, he's like, where you, and I don't know why they don't just cut him off right here, because at this point, he's like, he's wasting his time. Like, bro, come on. You're going to get charged by somebody. You know what I mean? You hit so many people, not just one person can file against you. Like, damn, the whole damn state needs to file against your ass.
And from your recollection, do you recall seeing any other occupants in the vehicle at the time?
I don't remember seeing anyone in the vehicle other than the driver.
Were you able to get a look inside of the vehicle?
I could only see the driver. I couldn't tell you whether there was anyone else in the vehicle or not.
So it would be fair to say that you're not sure.
That would be fair.
He's like, I'm going to go out on a win somehow. I'm going to somehow go out on a win. But that was pretty much it. He pretty much bullshits here and wastes everybody's time. But this is like his plan B, because I feel like his plan A was to say that the officer was too far away to see him into the vehicle. But then he pulls up a fucking exhibit and it shows his face. And then the officer is like, no, you were really close to me and you were swerving all over the road. It started going crazy. It started going all over the place. So what does he do? Plan B? Well, shit. The state of Wisconsin or the city of Wisconsin, whatever, can't even charge a person. Have you ever heard about that before? Like, doesn't it have to be somebody individually that charges you? Like, bro, get out of here. Trying his hardest. But anyways, people, that's pretty much it for the Darrell Brooks for today. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all as usual. Go check out the Patreon. Check out the Instagram. As usual, I will be going live today. I am not messing that up. So I'll see you guys there. Peace.